Tanner Camp here for IU South Bend Fall Media Day. Well, we've got women's soccer, and to wrap things up, we've got the man in charge of it all, Bobby Barnes. And, Coach, we're just going to get right to it. You guys, not only do you return 10 players, you also bring in 12 freshmen. I've seen this list, and I've even seen some of these players because, of course, we do high school soccer on our website at rrsn.com. And you've said this to me on multiple occasions. You were just so excited. When you sent me the player bio sheets, you said all 26 of them. And that in itself is a huge win for this program. Despite anything else that happens, 26 players on this roster. That's got to be a great accomplishment for you starting up this program a couple years ago.
I think it kind of defines where we're going at as a program. I know through COVID, where we had a couple games canceled this year due to low numbers, and my heart goes out. And that could have happened to us the last year, the year before. Mm-hmm. So I really hope those schools can rally around, get it back, because I think having young females having the opportunity to play collegiate soccer is what it's all about, and we're just very fortunate. And I think, as Bryn said, the veterans did an incredible job welcoming the underclassmen. We had an ID camp where I think we had 16, 17 players.
Wow.
And 13 committed, and we're still waiting on the other 3. 2 have committed for next year, which is fantastic. And I just think the opportunity, the education, but I think it's the culture, and I think the girls really want to spend their next 4 years with a lot of these players because they're just great human beings.
Well, and you overheard what Bryn said. When you have players like Haley Marsh and Katie Jones, not only were they arguably 2 of your top players from last year's team, they're just great leaders by example. I remember seeing from up above at Newton Park, like they are players that really know how to get their team together and lead by example. And like I said, I think Haley Marsh also has done a nice job, as well as Katie Jones. So just tell us a little bit about what it's like to still have those players who return that have made an impact for this soccer team and already. So tell us a little bit about Katie and Haley.
Yeah, I think I think 2 wonderful talents. Obviously, Katie coming from the junior college Final Four. Mm-hmm. Haley, outstanding high school player and club, winning 2 conference titles. And they both on either ends of the field, so we're in good shape in the back, but then also up front, put a couple goals in as Katie has already done. But I'd love to mention one player. When we had, during the summer, had a high school team come in. We had a lot of our freshmen, come in as well. And what was amazing, when had America Esparza, she's on the bench, and she makes the comment, I have no idea how much playing time I'm going to get, but I'm so excited to see where this program is going. So when you have a upperclassman making comments like that in front of, and she did it very personally, but all of a sudden it became, if this is our leadership in the direction we're going, where it's very selfless, I absolutely cannot wait. So I think it's the attitude where you mix a little bit of a talent and then just what can I do for the team. And then, not surprising, American, a non-starting role, just did a phenomenal job on the field, and it's like makes me even feel better about everything.
And you have to have players like that despite whether they play or not, because America had to be a huge part of these last couple of years because of the lower numbers that I'm sure you would expect. So just take me back to when you first came on campus back in 2019. Of course, once COVID hit, that just really put things at halt. And last season, you and I have talked about this before, really was only the second true season that IU South Bend could actually at least put 11 on the field and be competitive, just because of the difficulties of COVID back in 2020. So going into this third season, just take me back to when you first started and where you're at now. Just take me back to that process and what it's like to kind of be in this spot where now this is a team that I think could be really competitive both this season and also in CCAC play.
I think one thing to realize, the recruiting process is a process where it takes 2 or 3 years, to bring players in. To all of a sudden convince, a player, hey, we've never had a team. Do you want to come in? That's a big leap of faith, which a lot of players, it's like, oh, okay, if I'm at a kind of higher level in my career, my aspirations is to play, for a top flight team. Obviously, we weren't that because we were just beginning. We had the majority, if not all the players, were already students here at IUSB with their work schedule, their school schedule, their personal life schedule. and they're expecting not to play soccer here at IU South Bend. So we had to work within that, and it was very difficult. And then COVID hits, and how we survived, I think the Almighty took charge of that. It was just an absolute miracle. And it was the hard work and determination, whether we have 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 13 playing. The girls just did an amazing job just saying, hey, this is what it is, self-reliance, built kind of a resiliency, which is absolutely huge. And then, as we progress in, and I think the girls coming in could kind of see the vision, but then also, this is where we're going as a team, and I want to be surrounded by these players that, went through the rigors of building the program.
Of course, one key player that is going to be deeply missed is Caitlin Paul. She over 233 saves, and she was such a big part of this team because she could be on the field if she needed to, but she had a lot of shots that were taken against her, and so a record that who knows if it'll be broken since she had
that
so
will
many.
Never be broken.
So just tell us a little bit about Caitlin's impact on the team and what kind of legacy that she leaves on this program.
I think Caitlin did a great job coming from a nationally recognized high school program in Penn High School. Watched them play this past weekend. It's just a class organization, and you want players, with that kind of experiences, and obviously that had shown not only game day making some world-class saves, and it didn't matter goals against average. I mean, every game there's probably 5 or 6 world-class saves that nobody else would save, but also off the field as a leader. I think she was captain, I would say, quite a few of the games, and she was always a leader during each and every game, just in her command of the field. But, definitely missed. Obviously, it's always great to have a local player, with that kind of impact to the team. And hopefully we'll see at a few games, this year. But, it's that effort that is why we're here today.
When you take a look just at this roster, as we've mentioned already, 12 freshmen, 8 sophomores, 4 juniors, and 12 seniors, just throughout this process, because that's what I loved about last season, though, is that despite the record, and Haley talked about this a little bit, despite whatever the record shows, the improvement, you had to be there and see the team if you wanted to see that progress they made from that first game till that very last one last year. So what's the number one thing that you're most looking forward to with this roster and with the schedule, as again, already starting off with a win, the 2-1 win against IUPUC? What's the number one thing you're most looking forward to throughout the course of this season?
I think just the journey, and just our goal is just to get better every single day, plain and simple. I thought the effort, the attitude, going to talk to the girls today about the game on last Friday. Was it a perfection? Absolutely not, in the sense of we could have found feet a little bit more, but just everything was fantastic. The unity, if they started, they did a great job. If they came off the bench, it was tremendous. The positive reinforcement from the non-starters was fantastic, and I think we're going to go and I'm going to put absolutely no pressure on this team, and that's the beauty of this team. There's play with no pressure. There's no we have to win X amount or finish this in the conference. Playing with house money a little bit, and it's nice to get a win early on, but it's just growing together on and off the field, and I think as a unit is absolutely crucial. Just trying to improve every single day.
And then finally, Coach, to kind of give you a wrap-up, by the end of the day, the NAI is always big on it, these student athletes. And we obviously talked to Brynn, and she said there were lots of great opportunities. That's why she ultimately decided to come here. So while we've got it here, and again, to give you this wrap-up, why should any player who's interested in playing women's soccer at the collegiate level, why should they come to South Bend and join your team and be a Titan?
Gotcha. I think first and foremost, it's an Indiana University education, which is first class. It's a top 40 institution, public institution in the nation. You look at the variety, and I think there's a reason why we have 65% females here at IU South Bend, and a female could be anything she wants in the world, but when you start adding dental hygiene, nursing, education, physical therapy, it is absolutely endless. The wide variety of courses. You look at the tuition is one big reason I left Ohio Wesleyan is $65,000 worth of tuition per year, and that is absolutely travesty. You know, some young females were walking out of there with $150,000 of debt, and that is,
Wow.
and I would never. And I was actually turning away a lot of my club players and other players, just saying, "Hey, you should go to University X because of the affordability." But I think the beauty of IU South Bend, that soccer-wise, you're in a great community. Absolutely love working with these players every day. There's a wonderful excitement and energy and optimism. And I think, and one of the best things of IU South Bend, whether it's there's from financial, ethnic, everything, we have absolutely, it's like a melting pot of absolutely everybody. And it's really neat talking to other coaches, looking at the team. It's just a wonderful group from every background imaginable coming together, trying to win some games, and in an incredible environment.
Coach Barnes, can't wait for the season. So happy to see
Thanks,
the team
my
already
brother.
get the success. Can't wait to see the Titans this season.
Thank you very much.
Once again, Bobby Barnes steering the ship here for the Titans this season, and you can check out the women's soccer team and all the home games at Newton Park in Lakeville, Indiana. If you haven't been out there, be sure you get out there as well. But also, if you can, check out our website at rrsn.com. Once again, here for IU South Bend Fall Media Day, it's been women's soccer here at the Student Activity Center in South Bend, Indiana. Tanner Camp here, and you're tuned into the Regional Radio Sports Network. Outs.